to another episode of...
You say it this time.
What is Spirit? Hi. We're trying another one.
So, tonight, we are drinking Dark Waves.
Ooh, keeping the theme.
There's nothing really fun about this one, except the name I like.
What kind of it is it?
I don't know. It just
says
red wine.
So I guess we're going to have to figure it out on our own.
I know. That's kind of what I was thinking. I
don't
know.
Here we go. Let's try it.
Cheers.
Man, you keep getting some good wines. This isn't bad.
No, this is really smooth, too. Hints of blackberry, maybe some... I don't know what else. But... No, and I was looking at the labels. Like,
does it say anything about Malbec on there? It kind of tastes like a Malbec.
It says nothing. I have no idea what's in this wine.
It's really good.
It is good. It is nice. I'd probably give this one a...
I'm letting you go first. I don't want to influence.
I'm going to go 3.69.
And I'm going to say 3 because I don't do points.
I do. Only if it's 6.9 though.
Yeah, I'm going to say 3 for this one. I mean, I would definitely drink it again if someone offered it to me, but I'm not 100% if I would buy it myself, but...
I would.
And I would drink it if she offered it to me.
And I will, again.
But I think the last episode, that was pretty good. I would probably buy that one.
Right. Yeah.
But yeah, if you want to know what we're drinking, it'll be in the description below. Mm-hmm. And again, if you like our content, like, subscribe, and share, please, because that's how we get more subscribers, and that's how we can share more content with you. And also, user stories. Go ahead and send them in.
Lots of those, please. Yeah. All right, so today, I've never mentioned this before. So we have a foreign exchange student living with us at the moment. She graduates in June. That's exciting, but she is from France, and she kind of told me a weird paranormal story that has to do with her bedroom. So I was like, I have to share it.
I haven't heard this one, so I'm excited to hear it.
All right, so she lives in Nantes, France, which is on the west coast, basically. She lives really close to the ocean.
Nice.
So her bedroom, in her room, she has these lamps, like, on her floor. Mm-hmm. And have you seen the lamps where it's, like, hard plastic? And, like, I've seen them at IKEA before, and they make a noise, like, they're, like, longer.
Yep.
They make noises. Well, one night she was reading, and then she was like, okay, it's time for bed. Turns off her light, lays down, and she hears like, somebody would have to be touching the lamp, and it was making, like, a really weird noise. So she flipped her light back on, and she was like, was looking. She was like, are my plants touching it? Like, what's touching it to make that noise? Yeah. Didn't see anything, so she flipped the light back off, went to bed. First she had moved her plants over, so nothing was close. Right. Turned the light back off, again, but it sounded almost like nails, like, kind of like I don't know.
Like those types of nails?
These beauties. Right on there, so she turned her light back on again. Yeah. And she was like, no. So she checked the area again, tried to go back asleep one more time. Yeah. Same noise as soon as her light was off. So she yelled for her dad. Her dad came in, looked all over her room, was like, nothing's here. Like, I don't know what to tell you. Well, it kept doing that the rest of the night. So now, from now on, she sages her bedroom once a month. One time a month. Oh my gosh. And she had said she puts a bowl of salt out. So and I'm not entirely sure what salt does. probably something to do with bad spirits is what she said.
Well, what I learned from Supernatural, the story, if you put it in a circle, it's supposed to like keep bad energy and bad spirits out. They can't cross over it.
I have seen that, but she puts it in a bowl, and she said the first night she did, the salt overnight turned brown. Ooh. Which is really weird. So she will still sage it once a month and put a new bowl of salt out. And she hasn't had any issues since.
So, question that I have is one, did she have any other activity happen other than the scratching sound?
Not that I know.
And nothing happened to her. It's just the lamp.
Just the lamp.
I wonder if something's attached to the lamp then.
Which is weird.
Because if she's not having any other activity in the room, like nothing on the bed or her.
Right. But also from what I kind of took away is she's had the lamp for a really long time and nothing's ever happened up until recently. So.
In the same house though?
Yep.
Weird.
So I'm not really sure.
I don't even know. I don't even know what to say about that. Like I can't even think of what would be causing that. Oh, so another question I was going to ask too is, you said she's had it for a long time. Did she buy it from like an antique store, IKEA, something? Because I'm wondering if not something attached to her, maybe it's attached to the lamp.
Right.
But like, I wonder what could have happened that could have sparked it up for it.
I'm going to have to ask. Although I do know she redid her bedroom.
Renovations, usually.
Right before that all started happening. So I was kind of like, maybe that's linked to it, but...
Because you know how sometimes they say that buildings are silent or places are silent and nothing happens until you do renovations and it kind of kicks up the activity.
Yep.
And that's kind of creepy that it's a nail sound.
Yeah,
it kind of reminds me, and I don't know if you've seen this horror short. It's called Lights Out. It was probably the best short I've seen. It's about a lady who's turning the lights out, and then all of a sudden when she turns it out, you see in the hallway this thing standing there. And
I think I have seen that.
She turns it back on, it's not there, she turns out, and then it's like closer.
Yes.
And then she like runs in her room and she like puts the thing and her lamp goes out and she plugs it back in and it's like there. I'm just like, that's what I thought of instantly when you said the nails on the lamp and stuff, because that's kind of what it sounded like, because it did this thing. I don't know. I don't know, honestly, what could have sparked it up other than the renovations. But have they had anything happen throughout the house?
No,
just her room?
Yep, just that room.
Is there any history?
But I do know she's really big into like spiritual stuff and like
she played with the spirit board at all?
Nope.
Okay.
But
that's interesting. I mean, the only thing I can think of, like I said, is renovation. But at the same time, it's not that much. It's not like you're like knocking out walls and stuff like that. No. Completely changing it. So what other thing could spark it up other than... I don't know. That's a tough one. That's so tough because there's no attachment.
I know when Juliet told me her story, I was like, ooh.
Yeah. Because there's no, I mean, it would be different if it was like activity that happened from like house to house or before, but like for it to just start recently, I don't know. Or the only other thing I can think of is if you said she's spiritual or doing spiritual stuff, maybe she isn't doing like any like rituals or chanting or anything that could have maybe sparked something. But the scratching on the nails sounds more... And it doesn't always have to be, but to me, whenever I hear something like that, it sounds more like evil, like demonic nails.
Yep. But the fact that she has to sage and do the salt once a month just to make sure she's not like hearing these things is super weird.
Well, it's probably a good thing too, so nothing attaches to her, because...
But she hasn't also been home for an entire year, so I'm curious to know if her family has heard anything in the rest of the house, which I'll ask her, I guess, because... Unless her mom does it for her.
And what's going to happen since your place is active, like if anything's attaching to her or kicking it up or what? That's the dog? Oh my god, I keep hearing stuff. I cannot handle it.
It's all explainable. It's our dogs.
Well, luckily it is. I'm like, jeez, I gotta pee. But no, the only thing I can think of is... like if you're dabbling in spiritual stuff, like you're doing stuff, maybe that might kick something up. But like I said, when I've heard scratching, it's always been negative. Mm-hmm. And like I'm afraid for her to go back now since she was doing that ritual and now she doesn't, because like another thing that I heard about too is like the different stages of possession. Like first it's like, ooh, of course I can't remember the first stage, but one of the stages is where it's like kind of haunting and taunting you, like you're hearing stuff going on, and then it gets to a point where it like wears you down so that you can't fight back. Then the oppression part of it where it's starting to take over you, and your personality changes, and then the full possession where it actually goes into you. So I'm wondering if maybe that's what the scratching is. It's like it's the beginning stages of trying to take over her, but because she's saging and doing the salt, it's not able to complete it.
And I'm curious, and I'm going to look it up later. I should have done it prior to this, but like what, like a bowl of salt? Because I have heard, like what you said, when you put the salt in a circle, it's supposed to protect.
Or the door frame, like if you're blocking the entrance, then anything evil can't cross over. Right. But I've never heard the one in the bowl, so I'm going to have to look that up too, because I'd be interested to see also what it means if it turns brown. I would like to look that up to see what that means.
It can't be good.
Obviously, obviously not. I feel like it's something negative there, and that's scary. You know. But I am actually, let me see. I think I'm going to tell this story just because we're talking about negative stuff. So
also, guys, if you're hearing whining in the back, it's my dogs.
And they're very upset because normally they are here with us.
They would really like to be part of this.
But they knock stuff over sometimes. Not all the time. Just when I'm wearing a Ouija shirt. And they probably smell the meat, so they want to come down. It's okay. We're almost done. Oh, that was weird. Got pretty quiet when I said that. Okay, so this next story I'm going to tell, and then I'll show you the picture after because I kind of want to read it first before you see it. Is from, actually, I'm going to say, I don't know if he's okay with me saying his name and telling about this. I'm not going to use the person's name that is the doll healer. Okay. But we'll say Jim. Jim. Just in case. It's like Animal Kingdom in here. But
I have a problem.
This one is called the doll healer. So I'm going to read this one really quick. My friend is a doll healer. She collects dolls that people claim are haunted. She does background and speaks with them and helps them move on if they wish. 2 weeks ago, a woman called her and she said she has a large doll she believes is haunted and can she send it to her. She says sure, but the next day she questioned herself why she never asked about history, which she usually does. After she got off work, she was going to call the lady when she got home, but the doll had already arrived. She cut the box open, and before she looked inside, she got a call. Her 4-year-old boy opened the box and took the doll to watch TV with him. After her phone call, she went to check out the doll, and it wasn't there. She walked into the living room, and her 4-year-old claimed and named it. She was horrified to find the doll has the markings of a Ouija board. She tried to take it from her son, but he wouldn't give it up. She called the woman and asked, why didn't she tell her this? She said it's her job to know about these things, and at first she stored it up away from her son. It seemed harmless. Then one evening, her son was in his room laughing and talking with a friend. She thought as she could hear another voice. Oh my God. I know. She walked in to find the doll sitting on his bed with him watching cartoons. She got very scared and tried to take the doll away, but her son wasn't having it. Finally, she did get it and locked it in the doll closet. Her son said his back hurt, burning really bad, and she looked at it. It was the perfect shape of a planchette. Remember that story I was telling you? I mean, this is kind of weird that this is coming up again.
And it sounds like an Annabelle story.
Yeah. It's just, when I read that, I'm just like, The next day was her son's soccer game. He said he wanted the doll to come watch him play. She told him no, he's going to stay here. As they went to the car, she put her son in the car seat and heard a giant crash from the house. As she walked with her son back in the house, the chairs in the dining room were thrown around in the kitchen. The doll is still with them, but under lock and key. The planchette it came with, I told her to burn and bury on a church land. I don't even know what to say with this story, but I just know that if I had something like that in my house and around my kid, it would be gone. I mean, I did have a doll like that.
You did.
And it was gone, but
Could you imagine Gio carrying that doll around?
Nope, because he would not get that far.
Right? Seriously.
But this is it. I can't actually show it on camera because I have to protect his face. But that's an actual doll. So, folks, it is a doll that has a literal Ouija board.
Can we show this?
Oh yeah,
I can do doll like that. Not with him in it. But.
So,
because that doll is very scary.
I actually did this. Let me see if I can get it. There we go. Oof. So, I'm going to try to get as close as I can.
You're going to have to go around.
Okay. So this, let me see if it's on there. This is the actual doll. It's a doll with a Ouija board on it. And I noticed in the picture that it had like a blood spot over its heart. Don't know what that symbolism is, but can't be good. So, yeah. That's the doll that I was just talking about.
That's terrifying.
So apparently she still has it, and it's, I mean, I'm sure, he said when he was telling me about it that there's probably more to come with that story, because she still got it. And I don't know if I would keep something like that.
Absolutely not.
Yeah, I was just thinking about haunted dolls and scratching and all that stuff, and the fact that she heard it talking.
Seriously.
It would be gone.
So bad.
It would be gone. So,
Ugh.
Yeah. I mean, do you know anyone who has any, like, haunted dolls or anything like that?
No, but my grandparents used to make, like, the porcelain dolls and would have them lined up. And everybody would be like, that's so fucking creepy. And they're like, no, they're beautiful. And we're like,
no,
I don't know about that.
Pass. I do have a couple people that I'm going to ask to borrow their dolls to make some guest appearances. So, maybe on another episode.
I'm very excited.
But we're going to wrap this up because the dogs are getting antsy and they're ready to come out. So, again, if you like our content, like and subscribe and share. Share it, please. And go ahead and send in those user stories because we love reading your stories. And we had some awesome user stories the last few episodes. So
that's awesome.
Yes.
All right.
Well, see you guys later.
See you on the other side.
Bye.